Bonjour, bonsoir. Welcome to a new Gade Tet Ou with Dr. Flore, a genuine conversation where we meet our guests who inspire, motivate, bring conscious awareness, and throughout that genuine conversation, trust me, we have some fun. Today, as we always do, we have an individual that we're gonna check out because Gade Tet Ou is like check yourself out, and we'll start by letting him introducing himself, the person who is. Welcome on Gade Tet Ou.
Thank you, Dr. Flore. I'm Oliver Gilbert. And when I introduce myself, it's interesting because how I think of myself as a simple kid from Miami Gardens. Mm-hmm. You know, I was born and raised in the area of Miami Gardens. My dad, the Southern Baptist preacher. My mom, a Seventh-day Adventist teacher. So I went to church literally every Saturday and Sunday when I was growing up. And so I'm like over-churched. And so from the area, went to Norland for high school, Parkway for middle school, Parkview Elementary. For elementary school, FAMU undergrad, graduated from University of Miami's law school. And so I still live in Miami Gardens. I actually purchased the house that I live in right now from my parents. I lived there until I was 10 years old, until my dad had built a new home for our family. And so I'm just a kid, a lawyer, former mayor of Miami Gardens, former chairman of the board, a county commissioner, a father, a husband, a brother, a friend to a bunch of folks, and just someone who is a part of this community, who's been here their entire life, who understands exactly what it means to say I'm from Miami-Dade County, to say I'm from Miami Gardens, and I'm proud of that.
Very good.
So I'm very proud of that.
Then a person that is a simple guy, who is comfortable in saying exactly where he's from, and that has remained there. There has not been any gentrification who has pushed you away, because the reality is that some people, the person that they are is not the same than the professional or the politician, but it seems that same little boy, even lawyer and a professional, stay in the same area, same local, and has giving back. Then in the process in giving back, I heard FAMU, professional, and I heard lawyer. Was it easy for you? How did you become who you are?
Oh, no, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. When I was in college at FAMU, my dad, he was a Baptist pastor. His church was really small. He worked at Florida Power and Light. And so they had that big, I think it was around 92 or something, where they had this big transition where they reorganized the company. And so they laid my father off. And so they went from being able to help me financially in college to not being able to help me. I was on my own. And so for a while there, I was homeless, living in a car, going to college full time during the day and working at Walmart, night receiving at nighttime. And so it was a struggle. But I think about those moments, and I think about the kindness that people extended me in those moments, the grace that was given to me in those moments. I think about the times when I was waking up early, 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, catching the 27 down to the Martin Luther King station to catch the Metro Rail to UM's law school. And I think about those moments, and I think about the difficulty. And it actually made me part of who I am. And when I go to schools now and I talk to students, those are the actually moments that kind of inspire them. They inspire me because when I think about it, everybody says it like if you just work hard, it works out. And if you work hard, it does work out. But that's really my story. I just wouldn't give up. It'd have been easier to come back home, instead of living in your car. My parents would have taken, but I'm not giving up. I'm graduating from FAMU. It would have been easy to stay at St. Thomas. I did my first year of law school at St. Thomas. I transferred to you. It would have been easy to say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go right around the corner here. But I was like, no, I want to be a Kane for law school. And so I'm going to actually get up every morning and I'm going to catch this bus and I'm going to stay there all day and I'm going to study and I'm going to work hard. And so when I graduated with honors, I was proud of that. When I passed the bar the very first time with an extremely high score, I was proud of that because it wasn't just something that I did. It was something that I worked for. Like nobody gave it to me. I worked for all of that. And so,
Any siblings?
I have two siblings, an older sister and a younger sister. And so I'm the middle and the only boy.
Only boy.
Yeah.
Then when you mentioned that part of your life included homelessness, then where were your siblings? Homeless as well?
Oh, no. They were back here at home with our parents. They were, So I was in Tallahassee and they were here.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in Tallahassee.
The experience of homelessness happened where?
In Tallahassee.
In Tallahassee.
At FAMU.
Okay.
At FAMU when I was away at college. And so living in my car when I was away at college. They were here back home. My older sister was working. I think she might have been going to school back then, but she was.
It's good for
a
people to know that, because when you send your kids to college, the tuition is one thing, but the room and board is not always included.
The room and board and room and board is
and the food.
Yeah, and that's not just life. Like life happens when you're in college. Like anybody who's gone away to college or just gone to college, life happens. It's just expensive to be in college, and so I look at some of the proposals that I have, like on my website. I talk about the things that are informed from my lived experiences. Like I know what a good education and having access to good education and have money. I understand the importance of that, so I speak to those things. I understand how difficult it is. When I talk to, and when I visit kids in schools in my district and in this county, what I talk to them about is that everyone will say, just keep working. What I'm telling you is that was my life. I was a kid who, when I was in high school and they built the stadium in, the area that's Miami Gardens now, I was the kid who parked cars at my grandparents' house for people when they attended the Dolphins games. I'm the same young man who became mayor of Miami Gardens, where the stadium is located. I'm the same young man who became a lawyer, who became a county commissioner, became the chair of the county commission, the same place. And it was just hard work and faith. I never gave up. I never stopped believing in myself. I never stopped believing in God, and I kept working. And that pushes me. And I go to visit those schools and I talk to those students because I want them to know that if I can do it, there's nothing extraordinary about me. Okay. I worked hard. And I stayed faithful, and it worked out for me. It'll work out for you too. And I want to have that conversation with them because I want them to know that anything is possible.
And that's what make a genuine conversation unique. But I'm gonna go with a touchy subject with you. Yesterday, the county commission passed something on arresting the homeless.
Well, yesterday the county commission didn't do that because
was it Miami Commission?
It might have been the city of Miami.
The city of Miami. Okay, not the county.
Yeah, that's not the county. We wouldn't. We wouldn't do that.
Okay, but you're not aware of it.
No, I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware of that.
Then we will pause that because this is a very touchy issue.
I'll speak on the issue. I'm not aware of what they did. I will say that
of arresting the homeless just for them to not be in some areas.
I don't know what the specifics are of what they did, but I think arresting people because they're homeless, being homeless isn't a crime. And so we tried to criminalize that in Florida, and it's not appropriate, and it's immoral. Like, we understand that the poor will always be with us. That's declared in the Bible. The poor will always be with us. Criminalizing poverty is something that we ought to get away from generally, and homelessness is a vestige of poverty and or mental illness.
Yes.
And so that's not appropriate. So I don't know what the city of Miami or who did it. Okay. It wasn't the county commission.
Okay. Then we're gonna move forward to the politician. Define your politician style.
I don't know that I have a politician style that's different from my actual personal style. So I like to tell folks that I'm the same person all the time, so I don't have to remember who I was for you. I am very straightforward, very direct. If you ask me a question, I'm very prone to answering the question. Sometimes the answer is no. I won't lie to you to try to get you to vote for me or try. No, it is what it is. There's some things that I'm supportive of. There's some things that I'm not.
Okay. Mayor of Miami Gardens, when you sit back, what is one thing that you accomplished when you drive by Miami Gardens and you said, I was able to make a difference?
Oh, I think if there's one thing, I think that based on and because of my leadership in Miami Gardens, it actually looks different. Like, sometimes people lead in places for a long time, and when they leave, they might be different, but the place looks exactly the same. Miami Gardens looks different. The parks that were closed are now open. The beautification that wasn't there is now. The business stores and the business frontage that was empty is now populated with businesses. Like you can actually see the difference. They're actual, when you go to the parks now in the morning, it like trips me out sometimes because it's bustling 5:30, 6:30 in the morning. People actually being active. I remember when we didn't even open during that time. So the city itself
because
is different.
you were mayor during COVID.
I was mayor for 8 years. So I was mayor from 2012 to 2020. At the end of my mayorship was COVID.
Yes.
But most of my mayorship was just actually working to recruit businesses, lower crime, open parks, program parks, fix our finances. We had a 47% reserve when I left, actually making us an all-American city. We won the all-American city designation at the end of my second term, in large part because of the policies that I put in place throughout my term. And so, yeah, I ended with COVID, but it was a journey. But when I drive through Miami Gardens, and I get to actually, because I live in Miami Gardens and I shop in Miami Gardens and I exercise in Miami Gardens, I get to interact with the residents, my neighbors, who see me walking on the trail and say thank you, because they understand how it was before. Sometimes we don't actually remember what happened before. We don't remember when they used to call Miami Gardens murder gardens. We don't remember when we were the 7th most dangerous city.
Yes.
We don't remember coming off that list, me telling folks we're going to be off this list, that we're going to get this under control. We don't remember when all of our police officers came from someplace else. I said, I appreciate law enforcement from wherever they come, but I want to send young men and women from this community to the police academy to become police officers in this city. And that's how we're going to do community policing. We don't remember how we got to this point. We just say, hey, you know what? These things aren't perfect now. It isn't perfect now. My job isn't perfect. My job is progress. And so I've always worked, and that's my politics, is progress.
I can attest to that because when you were mayor, I was still working at Jackson, which allows us to do some home visits. And Miami Gardens, at that time, the time of Sandy Sears, as president of Jackson, it was dangerous to go to Miami Gardens. Then I think with you, reducing crime was essential, and also the campaign of having left youth being arrested made you in a better position than Florida City now. Because we have to be able to do a parallel. When it comes to small businesses, the mom and pops also comes with your city, and more businesses. And I became aware of this in Miami Gardens on that. Talking about Walmart, that Walmart located in 27th Avenue, there's more traffic. There are more people also moving to Miami Gardens when they left Little Haiti and they moved to Miami Gardens because of the parks, because of some activities, and you have that major jazz in the garden, that makes you one city that became global.
Yeah, Jazz in the Gardens is interesting. It was started under our initial mayor, Shirley Gibson, and I took it and I made it bigger. And my idea with Jazz in the Gardens was I just wanted something to introduce the city to folks, because people get caught up in what they thought it was, but they didn't really understand what we were. I wanted a way to bring them in, to reintroduce ourselves, and that's what Jazz in the Gardens. It was our way of saying hello to the rest of the world.
Global.
So that's what we did. And so people come from England and Jamaica, and like people come from really across the world to go to Jazz in the Gardens, and people recognize me in other places because of Jazz in the Gardens. And so we know that it actually helped grow the city's brand and actually help improve the city's brand. And so it's interesting because Miami Gardens, as a political journey, I don't think of it as a political journey because Miami Gardens has always been my home. And so when I was improving the things about Miami Gardens, I was improving the things that affected all of my neighbors, my friends, and my family. So I want this to look better. I want us to have more business options. I want us to have more entertainment options. And so now they have a hotel that's being developed there. And so actually they have 2 hotels that are trying to come there, but we know one for certain. And we have the Performing Arts Center that it's being built there, and I've given them $25 million from the county, because my argument to my colleagues on the county was, we've never built anything like this in the north part of the county. We have it in other parts, so that the residents in other parts of the county can have activities.
Because
in their
when you're thinking progress, you have to think health. You have Jackson North, that is like extremity, and you have North Dade. and you have also education that is very important for you, and infrastructure, the parks, and economy. Then that's putting all this in a basket. Which of the two political positions you fit best, the mayor or the county commission?
It's different. It's hard to compare.
That's a wise answer.
It's different.
Okay,
but
share.
I'll tell you that being mayor of your hometown is like everything's personal. Like being mayor of your hometown is a special job. County commissioner, it allowed me to still help Miami Gardens, but also help like Opelika, help the Country Club of Miami, help California Club, and each of them had their own issues, and try to deal with their own issues. In Opelika, it was me helping them reduce their debt. They owed a lot of debt, but we were their biggest debtor. And so what I did was I took all of their interest payments, I converted all their interest payments to principal payments. So that reduced the time that they actually had to pay that debt from. They were supposed to finish in 2028. They finished in 2024, saved them millions of dollars. Okay. So like in California Club, they had some traffic problems that I had to mitigate. In Country Club of Miami, it was some traffic problems, but it was the redevelopment of the golf course and the open space over there. In Miami Gardens, it was performing arts and it was, traffic circles and giving them control of their traffic situation. It was different things. So it helped me in Miami as a county commissioner. It helped me. It allowed me to deal with things all over the district, but moreover, it let me deal with stuff that wasn't just in this area. So when I started talking about stuff like paid parental leave that I implemented at the county level, it was because when someone has a baby, they should be able to be at home and bond with their child for more than a month. Yeah, because that's like stuff like
it's from personal internal policies to implementation with the county. But now let's do the segue. I heard that you're gonna go broader, and I'm leaving the person, I'm leaving the professional and the politician. Then let's go Congress. You are a candidate.
Yes.
And you step down from the county commission?
My resignation, I resigned from the county commission. My resignation is effective January 3rd. I am running for Congress, the seat that was occupied by Frederica Wilson. The Congresswoman has endorsed me. She endorsed me because she got to see my work product and my efforts in Miami Gardens in the county. I believe that we're at a very delicate time in this country. And the issues are far-ranging from the economy to TPS, from foreign affairs to domestic affairs like education and healthcare. We've been having this conversation from the extreme perspectives, like we have to do this or that. Well, let's just try to let's do the best we can for the most we can right now. Let's do those things and let's govern with common sense. And so I've had that conversation with folks, and I love having the conversation, and I want to be able to work on that, not just here in this region, in this county, but for this country. Let's start with stuff like TPS. Listen, ending TPS isn't reflective of our values, and it's economically ridiculous. Like we know that. We know that that's prejudice dressed up as policy. We need to speak honestly to that, and we need to work with people from around the country to let them understand that the American dream, the American promise, that TPS represents the folks from Haiti and Syria and all these other folks that they're ending it for. It's the same American dream, the same American promise that existed in the 20s and the 1900s for people from Italy and Poland and Ireland. If you send us your poor and your downtrodden, and you just send us people who are willing to work, who are willing to become a part of this American experiment. And that's what Haitian Americans have done here in South Florida. An indispensable part of our economy, an indispensable part of our culture. Sending them back to a Haiti that's still not equipped to actually safely absorb them is bad economic policy, and it's inconsistent with our values.
But with the way TPS ended, do you think you going to Congress can make a difference?
Oh, I think it can. I think it can, and I don't think I can do it by myself. But I make the argument, and that's why I make the argument two-pronged. I make it based on our values. It's the right thing to do to extend TPS. And if you don't want to extend TPS, we should provide them a pathway to citizenship. Let's make them citizens. Let's make them citizens. Let's just reform immigration. Been here for 16 years, been working, have children here, contributing to the economy, ain't been in no trouble. Why wouldn't you just be a citizen? Let's just, if you want citizenship, we'll give you citizenship. I think that's probably the appropriate thing to do, right?
And people needs to know that talking like that is not that we are asking for an amnesty, but it's just the pathway.
It's just a pathway
to citizenship.
And remember that your status here is legal. You need amnesty for folks who were here illegally. Y'all ain't, they were here illegally. This was a legal program that the President of the United States arbitrarily ended, and the Supreme Court is backing him up. But I think that Congress has a role in this, and I think Congress's role needs to be to provide for a pathway to citizenship. And if you don't believe that if the values and the core values and the American values aren't things that you want to buy in, the economics are the economics. Like, the people who are here, who are working, who are participating in our economy, we can't afford to lose them in industries of, for instance, the medical industry, or the construction industry, or the agricultural industry. But it's far ranging because it's across all boards, because that's how pervasive the contributions have been.
Let's talk now a little bit about the district.
Okay,
it's a very big district. 24. Your experience goes from Miami Gardens. With the commission, you had Opaloka, and now it's even a little bit part of Broward.
It's part of Broward.
Okay. How's your campaign doing? Reaching out to the people? Do they see you? I've seen some ad on television. I think you're the only one running ads on television. Congratulations, because that requires the backup. But tell me, in your interaction with the people, how are you different from the other candidates?
Well, I think I talked to them about what I bring to the table as far as my record in Miami Gardens and my record as a county commissioner, my record as the chair of the county commission. So I wasn't just the county commissioner, I was the chair. And so I worked a lot, for instance, outside of my county commissioner district, in District 2 with Commissioner Bastien, to help the North Miami CRA, because I think economic development is important in that district also. So I've done things in other areas. When I'm in Miramar, I talked to Miramar about the waste to energy facility, and the idea that when they want to put their waste to energy facility right outside of Miramar, I said, no, if we don't want to put it in Doral because it would inconvenience our residents, then why would we inconvenience theirs? They're our neighbors. Let's find someplace else. So even when I wasn't representing people from Miramar or Broward County, I was actually still looking out for them, because I'm going to lead based on my values. If I wouldn't do unto others as you have them do unto you. That's a core value. And so I have those conversations about my record, and I have conversations about my ideas. And I do that up and down this district. And I think there has been good reception. There's been good reception in Broward County. There's been good reception all over Dade County. And so we're out canvassing. A lot of times people are surprised when it's me that knocks on their door. I actually go door to door with my canvassing teams as much as I can, because I like the idea of people being able to meet you. When I was young and I was growing up in Miami Gardens, no one ever knocked on our door. We never met a mayor or a county commissioner or anyone. I like actually meeting people and talking to them, and even if they're unhappy or they have problems, tell me what the problem is. Tell me what the problem is. I met a young lady up in Broward County, and she was not in the happiest or best of moods, but she was a caretaker for her mother, and her mother was elderly and sick. And I pointed her to policy that I had wrote on my website, the CARE program, about and the CARE program ostensibly wasn't necessarily for children that was taking care of parents. It was for parents who were taking care of children with special needs. What happens to that person when their caregivers can no longer take care of them? But it can be applied to parents, children who are taking care of parents, because we need to do a better job of providing for them from a community perspective. How do they live? Who coordinates their benefits? Those things. So I took the time out to actually write policy, write things that I want to introduce into the make federal law, because I understand that it's not just my lived experience, it's our lived experience.
Miami Gardens is becoming diverse.
Yes.
It's not like an African American black city, even though in majority we can say it's still 65% black.
Well, it's around between 60, I think between 67 and 70. It's hard because
Including Haitian, African American, and things like that.
It's still the largest black city in the state of Florida.
Very good. And but you have also some Hispanics there. Okay. Then how's your campaign reaching out to the Hispanic community? And we can also translate for you, because here they're gonna pay attention, because here we have the Haitians, we have the African American, and the Hispanic. Then it's your chance to speak to them, and I will translate.
Okay, so I do not speak Spanish and I do not speak Creole, but what I do is I campaign in every community, and so we have Haitian outreach. And we have Hispanic outreach.
Then you have Hispanic in your team.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Él tiene Latinos en el grupo del, aunque no habla el idioma. That's very good. Okay. Very
because
good.
what I found is it might happen in a different language, but we're all kind of looking for the same things. We want opportunity. Things are too affordable for us. We want a fair shake.
And when you were mayor too, you serve all of them.
I served all of them. And
okay.
So,
that's essential. Okay. Now you see the time. You have like 1 minute. The floor is yours for your final pitch.
I'm just thank you for having me on. You know, I'm running for Congress now, and I love to be, you know, a congressman that represents all District 24, but really that speaks for all of this county, because I understand who we are, what we need, and where we're going as a community, and where we need to go as a country. Look, we're better than our politics would reflect right now. Our politics, sometimes when we look up there, it's ugly and it's nasty, and we spend a lot of time talking about each other and not a lot of time talking about what actually affects people. I want to go up there and I want to work for people, and I believe that I will get that done. Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, she endorsed me because she believes that I'll get that done. And I'd appreciate everybody's support.
And now you have a punch number. That's your time.
My punch number is 31.
31. Chairman, thank you for being part of the show. We wish you luck. And the door is always open for you here and at Community News Network. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay.